I think one of the challenges with GA4 versus Universal Analytics is just understanding that a lot of the metrics look the same, but they are being calculated different. So when we're looking at GA4 and Universal Analytics, I think the most challenging thing has been we cannot compare GA4 to Universal Analytics. So, all of our clients that have been on with us since, June of 2022, they've been set up in GA4, but with the Automotive Standards Council, which has been an incredible addition to the automotive industry, setting a standardization of conversion actions across all providers. That's been a great addition. But the issue is because of that, we can't look back on conversion metrics because of the way GA4 is now calculating conversion events. I think there's a lot of great stuff in GA4. I think there's a lot of customization. Like I think GA4 can be as smart as the user, and I think there's still a lot that we can explore there. But I think from my perspective, it's been difficult with GA4 versus UA because you're looking at metrics and you say these should be the same, but they're not. They're different.
Yeah, I think bouncing off of what Sarah said, it's really important to understand that GA4 and Google Analytics are not, GA4 is not an enhanced version of Google Analytics. It's an entirely new measurement platform, and the way that it calculates everything is different. So to try to compare the two is not really efficient or possible, but really making sure that we had that historical data for our existing clients has allowed us to be able to maintain as much of a level of consistency as we could.
I think that's sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say something positive about GA4 is that I think long term it will create a little bit more consistency, because in the old version of analytics, you could have these things called views, where basically you could you can create different ways to look at the data, right? So all the data is coming in, but then let's say you were working with 5 different partners over a few years. They all went in and set up their own view of the data, and they tracked conversions differently. They had different naming conventions. Some things were tracked one way and another vendor tracked something a different way. So it created a very confusing look where even if you changed advertising partners to a new agency, they would go in and say, no, we're going to set it up our way now, right? And then it's really even hard to compare there. So the good thing about GA4 is that there's no more views anymore. And as Sarah was stating with the Automotive Standards Council, part of that goal is to say, we're going to set it up this way. A lot of all the vendors as part of this movement are going to set it up the same way. And anytime you take your analytics somewhere else or internally or whatever you want to do with it, it'll stay consistent the whole time. It's not, there's one view, there's one way things are set up. So wherever you go, whatever you do, the hope is that it stays consistent. So you can have 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you can compare the data apples to apples easily.
I just want to add to this conversation a little bit. We've been talking about it for about like a year, right? Trying to prepare everyone for what was coming. And I'm so glad you guys talked about some of the differences. The benefits being we've been struggling with Google Analytics for a while. It doesn't really speak to the value of shoppers on your site when one unique visitor could essentially be one person with 8 devices in their home between all their different family members. And now we're basing a budget off of that number. So this transition, there's a lot, that's just one example, but there's so many reasons why this evolution is necessary. And the transition is challenging because they don't really align perfectly, right? It's not an easy way to navigate the old data to the new data. So I can understand why. And the being able to have partners and that can utilize it is crucial. But even yesterday, I was talking to people who do not have their GA4 set up properly. So I want to add and emphasize, if that is you, not selling anything, if that is you, you might be a customer down the road. So we very quickly rushed to put some things together. If you are struggling and you don't have GA4 set up, reach out to me and I will figure out a way to get it done for you. This team will help me. I know because they've helped me before. These are assets for your business. These are business assets that are going to help you make decisions, not just for your advertising dollars, but just down the road. You never know when you're going to need this information. So if it's not set up, reach out to us. I'll be sure to connect you with someone, and we can help you get this resolved. Even if you don't work with us for your paid search or SEO, just reach out. It's something you need. Okay.